All right, hey guys, Mr. Kennedy here for you for your Chapter 9, Lesson 2 video notes. So today we're going to look at the religions of India, focusing on the Hinduism. So it matters. Millions of people around the world today follow the beliefs and religions that began in ancient India. Man, that's really cool that millions of people still today follow something that we're just about to learn about. I think it's cool. So here we have a timeline right here. In 1900 BC, the Harappans leave the Indus Valley. And 1500 BC, let's take a look at this. In 1500 BC, early Hinduism was first practiced by the Aryans. So we're going to start right here. You are here in history. You can see later on that timeline that the birth of Mahavira, founder of Jainism, and then later on the birth of Siddhartha, and some little things we'll talk about in the next video notes, the founder of Buddhism. So there you go, guys. Mr. Kennedy just showing you where you are in history. I believe I'm about to introduce Miss Tickle. She should be coming around this wall in about 3, 2, 1, Kennedy out.
He could have just gotten up, but he chose not to. Okay. Okay, so now I need to move the camera down, so bear with me 1 second. We all know my technology skills, right? Okay. Okay, so now we are going to talk about Hinduism, one of the world's largest and oldest religions. So this is actually the third largest religion in the world. So if I'm telling you that this is a religion in India, where does this go in our grapes? R, right? Religion. Next. Gods, many gods, all part of the Brahman. So if they believe in many gods, what is that called? What's our vocab term that we've learned from Mesopotamia and Egypt? That's right, polytheism. Now I want you to write it in, okay, right here. Polytheism. We're looking for it. Better write it in. Then I want to talk to you about the Brahman. This is a little different than what Ms. Hodges told you in Lesson 1 video notes about the Brahmin. When you talk about the Brahmin, you're in the caste system. But when you talk about the Brahman, it's talking about do the little arrow here. It is talking about the Brahman being the universal spirit that Hindus believe is in every living thing. So the way to remember this is you have your A for all, underline that. You have your A in Brahman, okay? A for all, A for Brahman. It's in all living things. And I know that this part right here that I'm underlining is not in your little cloud bubble. Go ahead and fill that in. Take that extra moment and fill it in so that when you're studying the whole meaning of it. And now we're going to talk about reincarnation, the rebirth of the soul. This is something that Hinduism believed in, that when you died, you were able to be reborn again. And this also existed within the caste system that the Hindus adopted from the Aryans. You could move up or down within the caste system depending on your reincarnation, but you are well, let's just say we'll let Ms. Hodges explain it because she's got a lot more to tell you. And I want you guys to make sure that you're not fast forwarding ahead. I want you to listen to everything she's telling you because it's really important. And make notes of it. Add it into your video notes. We want to see that you are taking those extra notes. Okay, so now Ms. Hodges is going to slide in here. Hi, guys.
Hi. Thank you, Miss Tickle. All right, so we got the little...
All right, we're ready to go. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So we're continuing our thoughts on Hinduism and the tenets or beliefs of what they believe and what they think. And so that is our goal, to know about Hinduism and what they think. So Ms. Tickle told you that you could be reincarnated, the rebirth of your soul. So within every person, the Hindus believe that there's a soul inside you. And when you die, you're going to come back as something else, a new person or a animal or just a different form on this earth. And so if you're going to come back, then there has to be some kind of rule or some kind of way to decide what you're coming back as. And the word that they have for that is karma. And karma is a force, here's our karma,
a force that decides what form you're going to come back in. So your karma is the deciding factor of where you're going to come back. So what determines your karma then? So if your karma is going to tell you what you're going to come back is either lower or higher, then we need to know what's going to tell us what our karma is and how we decide that. So your karma is decided by your dharma. Okay, so dharma is your personal duty. What are you personally supposed to be doing in this life? And are you doing it well? And if you're doing it well, then your karma will be good. And you'll get good things and you'll come back as in a higher caste or a better person. Or if your dharma is bad, if you don't take care of your duties, if you're a terrible farmer or you're a terrible merchant, terrible son or daughter, then you're going to come back lower in the caste system. And so we're going to talk about that in just a second. We're going just a little bit further with that. So your karma is going to decide where you go in the caste system, and your karma is decided by your dharma. So we can say it like this. If you do your dharma, if you do your duties, then your karma will be good. So if you do your dharma, you will have good karma. And so it kind of looks like this. Let's look at our next one. So if you're doing your duties and you're doing what you're supposed to do, and you were born, let's erase that little picture right there, and you were born into the, well, can't erase it, so we're done with that at the moment. So we'll just leave it there. So let's just say you were born into the Kaistrayas, and that right here, this is where you're born into this group right here. So you come back, so you live that life and you're great in the army, you do a great job, and you are just the best soldier ever. And so you can come back when you pass away, you have good karma because you did your duties the way you're supposed to. So you might come back reincarnated higher as an individual. See that eye right there? You're closer now to the top, and you would come back as a Brahman, an individual. You're in the caste system. However, if you were not so good and you were a bad soldier, you could come back as a Sudra, which would be the lowest class, somebody who was a servant. Now, there is a class of people down here called the untouchables, also known as Dalits. There's a word that you need to see. Also known as Dalits. And the Dalits are untouchables. So we see we have all these different words that come from the Sanskrit, the Hindu language. And so they're a little bit different for us. And so it takes a little while to say them correctly. And I'm not 100% sure that I say them correctly either. But we just need to know how to recognize it when we see it. So within the caste system, if you're doing your dharma, you could move up. And if you're not, then you could move down. So the caste system was very important to the Hindu religion and important to the Hindu people. It's part of their social structure. But there are a lot of rules, and you're going to learn more about this. Like you can't marry outside your caste. So if you were born a Vaishya, then you have to marry a daughter of another Vaishya. Or you have to marry the son of a Vaishya. You have to stay within your caste. You're also not allowed to have social meetings with anybody that's not in your caste. So if you are a Sudra, you cannot go to a dinner party thrown by a Kaistraya. So you can't do that. And the Kaistraya can't go to lunch with a Brahman. So you can't socialize outside of your caste system either. Your caste can also not be changed. The only time it can be changed is when you pass away. And when you die, then when you're reincarnated, you can come back as something else. So that is an issue. And we'll talk about how that works in the next classes. So for your hot question then. Now, guys, if you need to go back at any point and stop and listen to that again, or find another YouTube video that's going to explain it online, the ultimate goal here is that we understand what the Hindus believe. And so we want to know what they believe so that we can understand where they're coming from, and we can understand what happens in India with the next religions that come on the scene. So our hot question is this. Let's see if I can move me out of the way. There we go. So here's our hot question. How did Hinduism affect the way ancient Indians lived day to day? So that means in their everyday life, how did their belief system in that caste system, how does that affect, kind of looks like a pyramid there, doesn't it? But how did the caste system affect how they lived? Because Hinduism is part of the caste system, and that dharma and karma and reincarnation idea and polytheistic, all of those things influence how they live. So we've given you enough information now. You can come up with some thoughts. And your thoughts are probably not going to be something that were necessarily in the video notes, but you may have a different idea. Like, how would you feel if you couldn't marry somebody else from a different caste? Or how would you feel if you were dishonest and then you were going to come back maybe as an animal instead of a person? What do you think about the idea? What did they think about the idea of reincarnation? So please keep it straight. We're not asking what you would do if you were Hinduism. We're asking you what happened. How did the Hindus believe? How did the ancient Indians act based on this belief? Because, I can ask you every day, and I do want to know what you think about it, and we will talk about that. But your hot question is not that right now. So this is a 3 to 5 sentence answer. Be sure to use vocab words. So you have a lot of them that you can use. So use vocab words. Remember, it's 3 to 5 sentences. We want to make sure that you're covering it well. And I can tell that you know how karma and dharma and reincarnation are connected and what they do. So tell me how did the belief in Hinduism affect or change the way the ancient Indians lived day to day? Not how do they live today, but how did it affect them back then? All right, so I think we are ready. And we will talk more about this in class. This is a difficult concept, and you are going to get it because that's what we do, and we love you and want you to do well. So you give us your best shot, and then we will give you our best shot when we get in class. Look forward to working with you then. Bye. How was that? Oh, wait. I want to stop sharing.